Finally was able to get the glove box door on, and check this out. Ooh. I bet you wish yours was that pretty. We're also getting some of our bright work on, and from the factory they had some foam tape and stuff, but we are using strip caulk. Stuff is pretty interesting. It's just butyl in little strips. We kind of put it, well, I'll show you. Putting it on the drip rail, so when we put our drip rail molding on, it kind of keeps things sealed up. And then after that, our weather strip channel molding is getting it, and I just went around each little bolt, screw hole, and then kind of doing this. It used to have foam tape, but foam tape I guess was notorious for leaking, so we're playing with this stuff. It's kind of like silly putty. Alright, so we've got our drip rail in, and we've got our weather strip molding trim stuff. I don't know. There's so many terminologies that I don't have correct, but that's okay. Went ahead and mounted this power window pancake motor. Tip. It goes through that hole. Not that hole. Definitely pretty cool to get these in. Gets them out of my way. Trying to get this quarter glass in today. I just got them back from the tinting shop. Looking awesome. It's kind of a tight fit. We'll see if I can get it. Pretty cool. Little update, you can see we've got this glass in, and we have our regulator in, our slider, and our little stoppers. It was definitely kind of a challenge. The order of operations went glass in first, then we initially bolted on the power regulator, but then to get our little stopper things and this all on, we ended up having to unbolt that so it could slide in there. Now that we've got it figured out, the next side should be a little bit smoother. And then in here we've got the glass. Of course you can see it now, but that was interesting to get in. Same thing with over there. Let's see here. What else do we got going on today? I've been running some wires. These are, let's see, wires that'll eventually go to an amp for a little bit of a stereo system that I got planned for this thing. Nothing too crazy, but you can see we've already got, our radio in. But I am gonna plan on having like a, I don't know, maybe a 10-inch subwoofer or something back there, because the rear actually already had speakers cut out for it. So we'll put those in. We're going to be getting everything finalized with electrical here soon. One thing that was frustrating was there was a harness that goes from that side behind the dash and meets up here to go through the firewall, and that's for my power window, and I didn't know that. So I put my whole dash together without installing that. So tonight I had to go ahead and dig myself up underneath here and route that thing nice and clean. I was able to find some of the channels that the wiring harness for the under dash went, so it worked out alright, but would have been great to install that first, let me tell you. And got my driver's side drip rail and weather strip channel in. It's looking good. Did the same thing we talked about before, using our 3M strip caulk. It's looking good. Getting ready to drill out these holes for our door wiring for our power. The factory came with little dimples here. You can kind of see them. Let's see if I can focus in on this guy. Anyway, and right there, I just started drilling it. Little instructions. Shows you to drill 1.25 inches for this one, and we've got one that's just about 1 7/8 inches. So I've got brand new hole saws, and we're gonna make a mess. All right, there we go. So they're in. The hole right there was a little bit challenging, but we used a 90-degree adapter and got in there. Unfortunately, this bit is kind of cheap, so it took a bit. But we just got some sealing up to do, and then putting this thing in. I went ahead and just ran my extra speaker wire that I'm going to use because I have this hooked up to a stereo. That's for another conversation. But also, we got our quarter windows in, and for the most part adjusted. All those awesome fingerprints on there. So now our glass is in. We tested everything, up and down they go. We just need to get some weather stripping in there now. Alright, so we were able to get it in. We also put a little bit of sealant around these areas just to help keep things all good. But the rubber is in good shape, and it actually had a little bit of memory to it, so we were able to kind of rotate it and follow this so it has a nice form to it. But look at that, it's in now. And we can put our radio antenna in, and finally get this fender on. So we purposefully painted this area right here so we could bolt this on, do some body work, and then when it comes time to paint it, we'll probably actually lift this up just a little bit and put it on there. But anyway, I bet you wish you were this cool. Look at that thing. It's just begging for a kid to come by and break it off. Maybe I'll be able to pick up radio stations in the lower 48. All of our glass is in, minus our front windshield. They're pretty close to being adjusted. At least the rears are. These still need to be put in. Next episode, you'll probably see us have the front windshield in, so that can be done. And I think here soon, we're going to start working on the interior a little bit more. We're getting there.